Hey everybody, Jesse here for 3Prong Gaming, and in today's episode we're going to get away from the AI just a little bit and we're going to start working on the character HUD. So let's go ahead and get this going. Alright, so in the last episode, we finished up our behavior tree. Well, we didn't really finish up, but we got it enough finished up for now that we're going to deviate from it a little bit. But we set up our behavior tree, so now our NPC will actually look for a place to live before he looks for a place to work. And only once he has a place to live will he get a place to get a job. Otherwise, he'll just wander the earth like a nomad. So, a few things to go over here. I know it's been a little bit since I've posted a video, and I apologize for that. One of the things, part of the reason why we're kind of deviating a little bit today is I received a message a few weeks ago that, it was thought that I'm probably spending a little too much time on the AI. I did a whole bunch of episodes focused on the AI and the behavior tree, and while that may be true, one thing to keep in perspective is while there are several other aspects to the game, like what we're going to do today with the character HUD, ultimately a game of this style, it's all about the AI. The better you can make the AI, the more enjoyable it's going to be for your end users. But you're pretty much just a god, right? I mean, floating around the world watching the AI do their thing. So without all this AI going on, you don't have a game, because that's solely what our game is. We're not controlling the players. We're controlling the world to try to influence the players. And that's the whole aspect of the game. So AI is a huge part of it. I'd say 90% of this game is all AI. So you would need to expect that there's going to be a lot of time spent on the AI. So, but to kind of break it up, we will go ahead and do the HUD a little bit, because I think we're at a point now to where we can kind of do a little bit with that. We needed that AI set up for finding a place to live, because we're going to do like the sleepiness or stamina, when the NPC gets tired, when we go back to it, he'll be able to go to his place of residency and go sleep and regain his stamina. So that's where we're going with that. And then also too, I want to let you guys know, now I didn't originally, when I started this series, I wasn't going to take this all the way to the end, to the point of production for you guys. I wanted to get it to a point to where most the basic features were kind of in place, and you had enough knowledge to be able to take that, like what we're doing today with the stamina. Really, all you need to do is know that, and then you can apply that exact same knowledge to be able to add the other statistics like hunger and the other desirabilities that the NPC are going to need, and you're going to be able to make the same HUD using the same concept that we're going to use today to build those other parts of the HUD. And same thing with what we're going to do when we send the NPC to go get some sleep. It's going to be the same general concept to go get food or to go do this or go do that. And so that's kind of where I wanted you to go. And we do kind of still have a ways to go with that. I did mention in the past that I am currently working on, I got invited to a team. There's 6 of us working together on a project that we actually want to bring to development and shipping and distribution and all that. And I've been spending a lot of time on it. That's really my focus. YouTube, I enjoy doing this for you guys, but it takes a lot of my time. And really, this game and that one I'm working on, while it's different in concept, they're both getting to the point to where it's really kind of starting to get mentally intense, and the lines are kind of starting to get blurred for me. It's hard for me to focus on this project while I'm trying to do that project. And it's making it tough because there's just a lot going on with it. So what I'm going to be doing going forward from today is I'm going to do a few more episodes here. I don't want to leave you guys totally high and dry on this. There are a few more things that I want to get done in this series, but like in particular with the behavior tree, let's go ahead and open this up right here, and of course open up my other window. We need to finish this out. I want to do this build shack, so if there's no place in the world for them to get a place to sleep, we don't want them just wandering forever. They're going to just build a shack, so we will finish that out right there. I'm probably not going to do the food at this point, but I definitely want to get that done. We may do the food. I'm not quite sure. I'm only see probably about 3 or 4 more episodes that I'm going to do in this series before I put it on pause. I'm not going to stop the series. I'm just going to put it on pause. I need to put it on the back burner a little bit because not only with our main project that we're trying to put on PC, we decided to take a piece of that, and we're actually right now we're trying to take a piece of that game and put it on mobile. We want to expand on a little bit. We want to get our name out there. We need a project. So we're working on that. So with that, once our website gets put up, it's being worked on right now. All the different members of the team, we're going to have our own little blog on the website. And what I'm going to do is for video updates, I'm just going to kind of let you guys know how the game's going. I'm going to show you different aspects of the game. And there's going to be parts of the game that I will do tutorials on. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how to build that game because it's going to be a game that we're going to monetize on, and so for proprietary reasons, I won't show you everything with it. But there's certain aspects of it that I can show you. Like recently, I've been doing we've got an enemy AI. There is going to be AI fighting within the game. And I just did some group movements where the AI come together as a group or as a squad, and they move together in the world. And then when they go to attack something, they move into a different formation, and then they all start attacking that. And so it's something like that I could show you guys how to do and give you small tips and tricks. But I want to try to keep my tutorials while focused on something. They're going to be smaller tutorials, unlike this one where we're building from scratch and I'm showing you guys step by step of everything that goes into it. I want to do a little bit more focused tutorials, but as well as that, I do want to do another series that's not the RTS style. I'm thinking of maybe something a little bit easier, and something a little bit easier for you guys too, not necessarily easier as far as the concept goes, but something that we can build fastly that really you guys can take and add some nice pretty meshes and deploy to mobile yourself, mobile or even PC for that matter. So I'm thinking maybe like some sort of endless runner, or maybe something like, if you remember the old school arcade game Galactica, where you're just kind of this ship floating around and you've got different things dropping down at you. Something similar to that. I haven't really decided yet. I haven't really started playing with it, but that's what I'm thinking of. So I do want to bring you guys something, but this particular project, it's really kind of a mental strain for me. At least while I'm trying to do this other project, and like I said, I do enjoy doing this with you guys, but at the end I really make fractions of a penny for every hour I put into making these videos for you guys, and that's okay. I don't mind doing that. I really enjoy the feedback. I still try to interact with you guys when you leave me comments on the channel, even though I haven't done a video in a few weeks. And I'll continue to do that, and I want to try to be interactive with you guys as much as possible. But this particular project, you can see even just what we have right here. This is only about half of what I've got in the behavior tree in my lead project. So you can just tell how intense this is starting to get, and where I'm at in my lead project, it's only getting more intense, and where we're doing where I'm working on forestization and all that stuff. So I'm not giving up on the channel. I am going to change gears a little bit. I hope you guys will continue to follow me and check out the tutorials, because I think it'll be good and fun, and show you guys how to make a game for rapid deployment. Like I said, an endless runner, it's not going to be too complex, but it's really something you could do with it and just throw it together, add a few ideas outside of the box, and bam, you could ship it and make some money off of it. So that's kind of what I'm going to be going towards, and I hope you guys enjoy that. If you got any questions, leave me comments or anything down below, and I apologize about that. We're about 10 minutes into it, but this episode really shouldn't take us too long to do today. So yeah, enough of my ranting. We have a few things we need to fix here. Go ahead and save that. Let's go. We've set this up to where we should just be able to, let's grab our buildings, go into our residential. We'll grab our apartment small right here. Let's just drop this into the world. Now remember, the scale in the world is 50%. So this building is full scale. So let's go ahead and drop this scale down. Come over here, do 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. So there, now it drops it down into our scale that we need. And up here, let's go ahead and I believe this is the rotation, right? No, that's not the rotation. This is the rotation. Let's do 15 degrees. Because remember, we've got our snap set up to 15 degrees. So I'm just want to rotate this a little bit. I'm just going to it'll do it in our 15 degree increments that we have set up. So it'll match the rest of the world when we place them in there. I'm just going to do 45 degrees instead of like that. Should be good enough. Yeah, that should work. Let's see. Fly around here. Yeah, it should work just fine right where it's at. Cool. So there's a few things in here that we need to actually go ahead and do. This actually won't work. If we play right now, you'll see that we'll drop an NPC and it's just going to stand there. There's a few things, mostly with structs. This is part of the reason why structs are kind of a pain in the butt. If you know what your struct is and all the variables within your struct are going to be in the future, and you put them all into the struct right away and never go back and adjust the amount or the names or anything within the struct in the future, then okay, cool, it'd be all right. But if you do like what we're doing, where you build the struct and then when you need it, you add something to the struct, it kind of breaks some things. And that's what we did right here. So let's go ahead and go into while we're here in buildings, let's go into buildings, open up your building master, and right here in the construction script of the building master BP, you can see max residence. We added this to this struct, and because we added it, while it didn't break these other pins, had we just split the struct from here instead of breaking it, it would have broken the struct completely. But we still got these pins hooked up. So what we need to do is we need to take the max residence right here and hook it up right there. So that way we make sure that when we set the max residence, it's going to be set into the variable again. Okay, so compile it and save it. Now, while we're still in the buildings, let's go back into the apartment building, apartment small BP. And down here in the building struct, we need to set its max residence. Set it whatever to whatever you want. I'm just going to do 5 as a default, not a big deal. 5 will be the default for the max residence. Compile it and save it. So had we not set that construction script, we hooked up that pin, this would still be set to 0. So this still isn't going to work though. What we need to do, we need to do one more. There's another struct we need to do. Go to the AI, the NPC blueprint, open that up, and then right here you'll see in the my profile, this is check for employment. This is the check for employment function that we made a while ago. Okay, so open up, expand this down here, and you'll see we've got residency in here now. All right, so we've got residency over here. Everything's being set. We've got name being set. That's being set. And then right here, we got the occupation type being set. We got the building reference going in there, but we still have this residency that's not hooked up. So we need to take the residency from this. We need to pass that along, just like we did with name and sex or gender, however you name that. And we need to plug that in. So that way it remembers what our residency is. Now that should work. So let's go ahead and we'll play this really quick. And I'll show you guys. Now it should work. But I'm going to open up the behavior tree so you guys can kind of see the process it's going to go right there. So let's go ahead and go like this. Let's switch this over really quick. And let me open up the window. There we go. Yeah, this will still be kind of tough. I'm just going to drop an NPC somewhere in there. There it is right there. And you'll see it is messed up. So let's drop a different one here. Let me go like this. Let's try that again. Go play. All right. Drop one right there. And why is it not moving? Let's go over here. Let's look. It should be moving. Did we not set something up right? Target location. Let's set this up. See, its destination, current location is not working. So Did we set this up? Current house reference, location type home. Should this be invisible? True. Why isn't that working? That should be working. Let's go ahead and open this up. Let's see what's going on here. Set the debug mode to, why is there so many? Why is there so many options in here? There shouldn't be this many options in here. Which one is it? I hate this. And of course, it's not going to show us here where we're at. Let's go back over here to the behavior tree. Now let's see. If we look at this, target location is invalid, destination none, current location none. So we need to figure out why our target location is not being set from here, because this should be setting our target location. So let's go ahead and stop this and take a look at this. Target location is set right there. You know what? Let me go ahead and pause this real quick. We're already 16 minutes. I spent a lot of time blabbing because really I didn't have to solve this in my cheat sheet project. It just worked once I fixed those two problems. So let me figure out real quick why this isn't working, and I will be right back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's been a little bit since I've been in this project as well. So one thing we forgot to do, I'm in the, let's go ahead and come over here. I'm in the move to location. There was just a pin I forgot to set up, and it seemed to have fixed the problem. So in the move to location, let me go ahead and you see I added a breakpoint there to kind of check some stuff out. I ran some print strings, just basic debugging stuff. Print strings are your friend. If you can't figure something out, just put a bunch of print strings in your chain of execution, because you should know your chain of execution of what each command is running, and just see what results you're getting back from it. I ran a bunch of print strings to make sure target location, because it said target location was invalid over here. So I needed to see why it was invalid. And even though it was passing target location, our problem is, so in the move to location is down here. We did this main execute right here. If it's set to home, it's going to run move to home. If it's off, it's going to move to office. So down here in the move to house, you see here in destination, set blackboard value is object. We didn't hook this up. So the destination is actually this residential master BP. So let's go ahead and just plug that in right there. Add a couple reroute notes so we can make it a little prettier. Just like so. All right, compile it and save it. Now this should work, so we should be able to get right onto the HUD. Real quick, let me go ahead and jump over into here so we can see what's going on. And I know I'll show the screen here in a minute, but I'm going to drop an NPC into the world right now, get that moving, and there we go. So he is moving to his place of residency, and you can see over here on the right-hand side, everything's set properly, right? So he's going to get his place of residency. And then bam, now you can see it switched over here into his work state. So we got that all set up. Open that back up, and there he goes. He's moving on to where he needs to be. Speed this up for him to get there. There he goes. Perfect. So now he's in there. Oops. And you'll see, if I drop this down, you'll see it's just kind of sitting here waiting for a job. If we were to come back out here, we've already tested this before, but I'm going to do it anyways. We go out here, we drop this down, and now he's going to have a job, and he's going to go for it. And I think he's just invisible right now. That's probably something I didn't set. Yeah, it does work. Trust me. We'll worry about that later. So anyways, let's jump into the HUD. We're running short on time. We'll debug that a little bit later because he should go on work. I think I just kept him invisible. Anyways, let's go into the, we can probably close all this out. Close that out. We'll leave that open for a minute. Close that, and we can close the behavior tree. Oh, in here in the behavior tree real quick, let me jump back into there. Let's add right here off of the build shack. Let's just do a wait, just a regular old wait. We'll make it about 2 seconds. All right. just because, so we have something underneath that. Save it. All right, now let's go ahead and close that out. We need to open up, go down to your HUDs folder, grab our NPC HUD, open that up, and now we've got this. So if you remember this right here, this will display when we select the NPC. This is actually the name text. This is the NPC's name. So we've got that. That's all we've really got in here so far. We got the close button. Let's go ahead and grab I'm opening up my cheat sheet here. Designer. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab a vertical box. So come down here into panels, grab your vertical box, and we will drop it onto the canvas panel. And widget switcher. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. We don't want that. We want the vertical box. Come down here, drop it into the canvas panel. So now we've got this. Let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to set it right up on top of here, anywhere pretty much you want this. Just expand it so we got a little bit of space. And let's go ahead and rename this vertical box real quick. Let's name it so we know exactly what this is going to be. Let's go ahead and call this stat underscore V box. How's that? Stat vertical box. It's going to have display all your stats right here. So in here, we need a horizontal box now. Go ahead and drag and drop that inside the stat V box. And if we select it, you'll see that it's just right there. We need to take a text, come back up here, a text block. Let's take that and drop that into that horizontal box. And for this, let's go ahead and select that. Let's just call this one occupation. Whatever your occupation is, that's what's going to be displayed right there. Okay, we're going to bind that, so it'll just automatically display no matter what job you have. It'll tell you what kind of job they have. So we'll set that for that. And we need a spacer now. Let's go ahead and space this out a little bit. Grab a spacer. We'll just set it not inside the text, just below the text. So we got the spacer, and I think I put that in the wrong spot. Let's actually put that in the V box. Move that up right there. So that way it's below. So if we close this horizontal box right there, you'll see it's not inside the, it's not a child of that horizontal box. It's a child of the V box. So let's go ahead and set its Y to 20. Just give a little bit of padding in there. You can set it whatever you want. All right. So now we need another horizontal box. And where's it at? Horizontal box. Let's take it. We'll drop it into the V box. So now if we select it, you'll see that's where it's at. It's below the spacer right there. And let's add, we need to add a text block inside that horizontal block or box. And let's go ahead and just real quick, we'll rename this. We'll do stamina. You can name it whatever you want, whatever makes sense to you. Stamina kind of makes sense to me, I suppose. I don't know. My cheat sheet or my lead project, I actually called it sleepiness or something like that. But I think stamina probably makes a little bit more sense. And let's go ahead and change its text size a little bit. Let's go ahead and knock this down to, I don't know, let's go ahead and say 18 for now, I suppose. That'll work. And let's set its fill. We'll set it to fill up this whole block. We're going to put something next to it, but we only want it to fill up about 40%. So enter 0.4 for its fill size. It's still going to show full right there, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to come up here and we're going to take a progress bar and we're going to drop it inside that horizontal box. So now it comes in behind there. So we select it. See, it's right there. You can't really see it. Here's why you can't see it. Let's just go ahead and hit fill. Now that's going to go ahead and fill up the rest of the space because the stamina is going to take up 40%. This will take up the rest of the space. So we don't even need to set it right here. It's going to take 100% of the leftover space. So what we need to do with this now, actually, that's a little bit too big. If we go ahead and center it vertically, there we go. It's going to knock it down in size for us. So right now, that'll go ahead and work. We'll do that. And if we come over here to the progress bar and set its percentage, you're going to see it's going to grow. Now, eventually, what we're going to do probably in the next episode is we're going to make this so it kind of changes color. It'll be green when it's good, yellow when it's getting close, and red when it's unhealthy. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and select the occupation really quick. And let's go ahead and bind the text. So with the occupation selected, come over here, select create binding. All right, we're going to get this new function right here, and we'll go ahead and name this Get occupation underscore text. I like to do the underscore and the suffix with what type of information it's being passed. So that's why it's get occupation underscore text, is because it's returning text to whatever it's bound to. So let's go ahead and grab our NPC reference right here. Let's go ahead and get that. Come over here. Let me get my cheat sheet right here. And there's a couple ways you can actually do this. Originally, what I did to set it up is, let's go ahead and drag off this. We need the profile. So let's go ahead and get profile, get my profile right there. Let's go ahead, and this one we can go ahead and probably just split this struct. So let's go ahead and do that. Now what you could do is you really could just take this enum and go occupation type, because that's what we're going to be passing along. And you could do literal enum occupation type enum. All right, so we could take that, and you can't just plug this in, it won't automatically convert it for you. See right there, you'd actually have to take this and go to string. So we need enum to string, right? So now it's a string, you plug this in, it'll convert it to text. So that's just fine. However, if you remember, let's go back out here really quick. I'm not too worried about my 30-minute mark, just because, you know, you guys deserve a little bit of attention today. But if we come out here to our enums, our occupation type, you can see we've got unemployment and construction. While the name construction or unemployment might be just fine for what you want to display, it may not. You may want to do something different. See, we kept it in the enum a little bit simple, just so it was just a little bit easier as we're programming. But to actually have it just display construction, you know, I personally think it should display construction worker. I think that sounds a little bit more proper for a job title instead of just construction. So close that out, come back out here. So like I said, this will work just fine. It'll actually, if you're a construction worker, it'll just say construction. In this place, instead where it says occupation, it'll just say construction. If you're unemployed, it'll just say unemployed. And as you add jobs, that's all it's going to add is what you have in there for the in the enum. However, I want to do it a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Like I said, you can do this however you want. It is totally up to you. I'm going to take this literal right here, and I'm actually going to do, and actually I probably don't need that literal. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's do switch on occupation type enum. Add this up here and hook in the execution. So now everything within that enum we have here. And anytime we add something to the occupation type, it's just going to automatically expand this. So we'll have to come back at some point if you use this and add information to it. So that's why it's kind of a pain in the butt to go this way, is because every time you add an occupation, you're going to have to come back here and do this. But I think it'll look a little bit nicer in the long run. So you'll know through your testing and bugging if you forgot to come back and add information here. So what we need to do, let's go ahead and create a local variable. Let's just go ahead and call this one occupation text. Yeah, that'll work. Let's go ahead and change its type here to text. And we'll grab this, Alt and drag it out. And let's go ahead and grab a second copy of it here. Plug this in. And then plug that in. So if it's unemployment, we want this variable to be set to unemployed, right? We'll make it a little bit different. It won't say unemployment, it'll say unemployed. Then we come over here, and for the construction, I want to do construction worker. Hit enter. Let's just go ahead and plug those into the return node. Now we take this local variable and just drag it and drop it onto there. So now whatever this occupation type text is set to is what it's going to return, and that's what's going to be displayed. Compile it and save it. All right, show you guys, push play. We go, zoom in here, press V. We select him. See, he's unemployed. That's what we put in there. It doesn't say unemployment. It says unemployed. So that's what we put in there. Awesome. So whenever this expands, this is all you got to do is just add another set to it and have it put whatever you want into that. Perfect. Let's go back to the designer. So stamina we'll leave alone. Now let's go ahead and work on this progress bar real quick. We're just about done with this episode. This should actually be pretty easy to do because we're not going to, the functionality to actually decide the stamina is really kind of verbose. Here, let me see if I can kind of show you guys what is going on with that. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not. I don't remember where that function is. I thought all that functionality was in my NPC controller, but apparently it is not. Oh, that's right. I don't have it set up on my cheat sheet yet. So that's why it's not there. I was going to show you guys how much coding was actually involved with doing this progress bar. Yeah, we'll worry about that next time because that's what we're working on. So we need to go ahead and take this percentage now, and we need to bind it to a function, create binding. And we will go ahead and call this one F2, call it get stamina underscore progress. So like I said, it's returning to a progress bar, which is a float, but we know that this is the progress bar. So that's why I put that there like so. All right, go back into your NPC real quick. We need to create a new variable in our NPC. Variable, we'll call this one stamina. Hit enter. And we need to change its variable type to a float. And let's compile it so we can set a default value. Now, normally you're going to want your default value of your stamina probably to be 100 for 100% full stamina. But just for display purposes, I'm just going to set it to 75 right at this point. Compile it and save it. Let's jump back into the NPC Hud. So we grab our NPC reference that we set up several episodes ago. Drag off of that. Do stamina. We need to get stamina. Now our stamina, we're running it as up to 100. That's going to be your full value is 100. So, but what we need to return to a progress bar, let's go look at this really quick. I'll show you. Selected progress bar. Here in the percent, if you look, you'll see, let me see if I can expand this out a little bit so you can see. It's actually a normalized number. It's from 0 to 1. So we need to get that percentage of it right there. Okay, so let me move this back in a little bit here. Come back out here into the graph. So we need to normalize this number. I don't know if you could even type normalize. Normalize to range, normalize. But all we're going to do is we're going to take this number and we're going to divide it float by 100. So that will give us a normalized decimal place. And then just take that and plug that into the return node. And that's all we're going to need. So compile it and save it. Now, just to show it's working, that's why I set 75. We got this set now to, 23 or something like that. Let's move it down. So that's as far as it is right there. But in our NPC, it's defaulted to 75. So let's go ahead and hit play. Jump down into here, press V, select them. And then now you'll see it works because it's up to 75%. Okay. So I'll show that occupation still works too. Let's add him right there. Let him get a place to live. You'll see. He's going to wander for a minute, I suppose. Let's go like this. There we go. Construction worker. Awesome. So that is it for today's episode. What we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to set this up right here in the stamina in the progress bar. We're actually going to get it to be able to adjust. So that way, you know, when you're tired. So that way, what we're going to do with that is we're able to take that and put it into the behavior tree. Let's open that up real quick. We're going to be able to punch that into here. So that way we can change our game state. So if stamina gets below, I don't know, 30% or something like that, you know, you're probably pretty tired and you're just going to go do what you need to do. Now, the way I set it up in my lead project was that if you're not busy, if you're not in the middle of, right now we've only got a construction worker, so let's just use him as the example. It's set up to where if the NPC is not busy, in other words, he's just sitting in the office or he's just roaming the earth doing nothing. He's not actually doing construction work. If your stamina gets down, I don't remember the exact numbers. I think I set it to 60%. If your stamina gets below 60%, he just goes home and he goes and takes a nap. But if he's actually doing construction, it will ignore that, and it will go below the 60% threshold because you're doing construction. But if it gets down to a critical point, like, I don't remember what I set that one to either, like 30% or something like that. If it gets down to that critical point, it doesn't matter what you're doing. He's going to stop what he's doing, and then he's going to go home and he's going to go rest because he doesn't want to be unhappy. So that's the way I kind of set that up, and I'll show you guys how to do that in the next few episodes. But that's ultimately what I want to do before I put this series on hold, is I want to get those things done for you. I want to show you how to do that progress bar because that's pretty much going to be the same thing. That's going to be applicable to your hunger and other things like that. Because you can't just, it's going to be a little bit verbose. There's actually quite a bit going on with it. That's why I'm going to make it its own episode, is because we've got the speed factor to take into account. So, because the player can change the game speed. So we need to have our stamina adjust its deterioration accordingly. Okay? And likewise, when he's sleeping, we need to be able to adjust his ability to regain stamina based off of the actual game speed that the player has set. So there's a lot to consider when doing that. It shouldn't be too bad. Mostly timers and things like that, and a couple event bindings. Not a huge deal, but it'll definitely be its own episode. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry I've been away for a few weeks, but the next one won't take as long. I'm actually probably going to record that because I've got some open time today. I'm probably actually going to record that right after I'm done recording this, and then I'll just drop that in a couple days, hopefully. All right, cross your fingers. All right, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. Check out one of my other videos, and until next time, peace.